Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in. I got 43 minutes to my haircut. So I'm gonna touch on this here Lotto situation, but for the bigger picture, not just her. So understand that right there. A lot of times y'all get that confused. Don't just look at her life, look at your life. Don't be worrying about another woman's vagina. Worry about yours and what you doing with yours, who you passing yours out to while you thinking about this, okay? But before we get into that, California, make sure you get your tickets for San Diego. I'll be there next weekend now, so stop procrastinating. Get your tickets. Link is in the description of the video. The description box is under the video. Somebody asked where the Dallas is under the video in the description box. Hit the little down arrow. Dallas, grab your tickets. I'll be there in a few weeks. And then also on April 19th, we filming our discussion series for love levels. So if you want to be a part of that, need some men in there too. So if you're a man in Dallas or Dallas area, make sure you join us. Send in your headshot and bio, men and women, to casting@tonygaskins.com. I posted that on the community page. You'll see that. Now I wanted to talk to y'all about this because this right here is something that's happening more and more. Now the Google search I did said that Savage 21 is not married. Say that he supposedly got married in 2020 to one of his baby moms, but that there's no public record or announcement that he's actually married. So we don't know about that. But here's the thing that's happening with a lot of women, and I'm seeing this happen in everyday life too, not just celebrities, is a lot of women are, like in this Lotto situation, a lot of women are gullible for love. One thing you have to realize that a lot of people forget, because of the boss babe movement and the feminist movement, that's really like a transvestite movement. Like a boss babe and a feminist is a transvestite. And what I mean by that is, that ain't the true nature of a woman. The true nature of a woman is a wife and a mother. It's Satan who has perverted the heart and mind of women to put a bad taste in the mouth of women against being a wife, being a stay-at-home wife, and being a mom. But at the true, unadulterated core of a woman, she wants to be a homemaker, a stay-at-home wife, and a stay-at-home mom. At the true core, when a woman has seen some things that makes her lose faith in the ability to be a homemaker, she then develops a desire for independence, to have her own. But it's rooted in fear of being abandoned, of being used, of being abused, of being left high and dry. It's not rooted in an innate natural desire to be independent. See, a lot of times women say, I'll never live off a man, I'll always have my own, but they don't look at the root of it. They don't look at why do you feel that way. The answer to the why is because you can't trust no man. Because I seen a man leave a woman high and dry. Because I see men, when they get on and they get up, they'll leave you. I see women, they ain't got nothing, they ain't got no money, they ain't got this, they ain't got that, because they ain't got their own, this, that, da, 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 da. And so they go through all of that right there. And That's what you got to realize and understand. You go through all that. So when you take and you really get to the core, see a lot of people looking at, man, why Lotto did this? Why Lotto did this? I'm gonna tell you why. That talk game. That talk game of Savage 21. He got in there and he talking that head off. He talking that head off. And then he in the mode, he in that zone, he in that cool, calm, collected, nonchalant. And she in that, she get it. But then also listen, you got to have a baby. Like if you want a baby, you got to have a baby. Why not have a baby with one of the top guys? You see what I'm saying? That's why she did it. She looking at it like, got to have a baby. Why not do it with a baller? Why not do it with somebody who respected by every man? Why not do it with somebody like that? Like, she looking at it like, why would I have a baby with DJ Ebro, Charlemagne the God? She looking like, why would I have a baby with somebody like that when every man respect this here Savage 21? So that's how she looking at it. And she looking at it like, she looking at Rihanna. All that right there. I don't know if Rihanna married and got kids. She looking at the Kardashians. She looking at other boss women who done popped out babies without being married. That's what she looking at. And so she like, oh, if they could do it, I could do it. But the same thing though, that's happening in the everyday world. I'm seeing women have the baby without being married, have the baby of an athlete, of a lawyer, of a doctor, of the #1 guy in the city, the #1 club promoter, the #1 scammer, the #1 dope boy, the #1 pastor, the #1 school principal, the #1 police officer. When you a top, like when I say #1, I mean like in the top 10%. I don't literally mean like the just top, but I mean in that upper echelon. So when you one of them guys, you could have them on the side. Like for example, the relationship coach, Swole Buddy. He was one of the top relationship coaches. He was married. On paper, everybody knew he was married, and he still was sleeping with other women. It's like these women knew he was married and still slept with him. You know why? Because he was a top guy. When you a top guy, a woman drop her guard for you. A woman lose all her senses for you. A woman forget about her self-worth. She forget about her self-respect when you a top guy. And that's a part of the red pill motivation. Because they see women of all races, colors, creeds, and economic backgrounds and socioeconomic standing throw everything out the window for what they call a high value man. That's what you got to understand. That's why a lot of y'all don't get respect. Because at the core, you really don't have value. A lot of women really don't have value. Why do y'all think I married my wife? Because the test that we used against women in our ignorance, be that as it may, was try to sleep with her in 2 weeks. In the first 2 weeks you meet her, try to sleep with her. Before I met my wife, I had slept with over 100 women because of that test. Because before I met my wife, it was only 2 women in my entire life. From the time I started trying to have sex with a woman, at 15 years old, it was only 2 women who turned me down. And the reason, the 2 who turned me down before my wife, one of them was 10 years older than me with hair on her legs. So I realized she did it because I was 10 years younger and she was trying to hold some semblance of self-respect. And she only turned me down once. I only tried once. It was one night that I tried. The other person who turned me down, she was 1 Oreo away from being too big for me. And she basically kind of had a boyfriend. She pretty much had a boyfriend and kind of was on a break and kind of cheating. So those didn't even really count. And I only tried once. The next person was my wife. But she had everything I needed in a wife. Not everything I wanted now. She didn't have the booty that I wanted. She didn't have the booty that I wanted. But she had everything that I needed. So when she turned me down, that won. See, the one young lady, she was a little too thick. She was a little too thick. She wasn't obese, she wasn't overweight, she just was a little too filled out. Just a little too much booty, a little too much thigh. Just a little too much for me. I couldn't flip and toss her. And then the other young lady, she was like okay looking, like, you know, decent looking. For her, it was more so would have been a notch in the belt for me because I was 22, she was 23. So it was like a little bit older. And so it was kind of one of those type of situations. And then me and my wife, we hadn't, you know, we wasn't together. And so we was about to, probably around that time, about to get back together a little later. So I had then looked around 3, 4, 5 different women. Then one other young lady, she turned me down and said her period was on. So that ain't really count. Because I thought I could have smelt a little hint of period. So I believed her. And so that's what I want you to realize and understand. It's like, it's not hard for men. It's very easy. So this is what I try to tell y'all about the 3 B's. If you get your 3 B's and you don't come off that cool about easy, you gonna be a wife. You can't be 1 B and 2 C's. You can't be 1 B and 2 lowercase b's. You can't be 3 lowercase b's. You got to have all 3 B's. Brains. What brains mean is you understand love. You know love, you know real love, you know a real relationship, you know what a real man is, you know what a real woman is. That's the brains. And you also have your faith. You understand your faith. You have your foundation. That's the brains. Watching a video a day, that's taking care of the brains. Brand, you gainfully employed. You got a job that you love, career that you love, or you got a company that you love, that you building, or you got both. And you taking care of your name. You not no HO, you not sleeping around, none of that. You taking care of your name. That's the brand. And then the body, you taking care of your body. You not sleeping around, you not giving yourself to everybody. Y'all gotta forgive me, I'm on tail end of my cough. You working out 3 to 5 times a week. You minimizing your carb intake and your sugar intake. You not drinking calories. You drinking water. You're drinking water. You drinking water, black coffee, green tea. You're not having Diet Cokes, diet sodas, and Coca-Colas, juices, lemonades, fruit punch. You ain't doing all of that. That's a cheat meal. You ain't drinking that every day. You're not eating sugar and carbs every day. You eating protein, iron, fruit, stuff like that right there. That's what you eat. And from there, you sleeping 8 hours a day. You're not drinking alcohol every day. You saving that alcohol. Alcohol, it might be on your weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, when you have your wine or whatever. If you drink alcohol every day, you doing the sauna every day, you walking 30 minutes a day, and you not drinking after 7 p.m. But no amount of alcohol is safe, no amount of alcohol is good. So when we drink that alcohol, you got to do some recovery to try to offset it. You need to drink a gallon of water. If you're gonna drink alcohol, you need to drink a gallon of water that day, or right out there. Try to offset it best you can. Still gonna mess you up, but I understand nobody gonna be perfect. So when you realize you got a vice, so let's say you got to have that sugar, you got to have that Diet Coke, you got to have that cake, that cookie, that candy, you need to get 10,000 steps in a day then. You can have that if you getting 10,000 steps a day, but don't be doing that and then not getting your 10,000 steps. So when you get your 3 B's and then you close your legs, I'm gonna tell you something. And so here's the thing: 99% of the women who hire me who want a husband and ain't got no husband, they ain't got the 3 B's. They ain't got the 3 B's. I've met two women who want a husband and don't have a husband out of thousands. I've met 2 women who want a husband and don't have a husband and have their 3 B's. 2. I've met 2. One is in California. She's an attorney. The other is in Texas. She's a anesthesiologist. That's it. That can say, they can say out their mouth, I have my 3 B's, I'm all the way where I need to be. I ain't talking about, oh, I'm 10 pounds off. No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about all the way where you want to be. When you get there, you gonna get your husband. Now what you have to do though to get your husband, the one young lady in Texas, she done met a potential. Now, I don't think he the one, but she done met a potential. Now, California, I ain't talked to her in some time, in a little while, so could have a little potential right now. Now, the problem with some women who get their 3 B's, when you get your 3 B's, sometimes what y'all be is unrealistic. You be unrealistic. You want Idris Elba, Morris Chestnut look. Then you want Tony Gaskins' character and integrity. Then you want NBA player height. Then you want true pastor, prophet of God spirituality. And the man just don't exist. He just God has not made him. So then that's when you'll stay single, because you're looking for somebody that God has not made. And so you talking and crying out to the Lord, and the Lord is like, that man does not exist. The Lord is like, the only man who was my son, and he did not get married. And We don't know if he was 6 foot tall. And he probably used to walk barefoot. And he was about his father's business. He only had 33 years on the earth, so he ain't had no time for you. So that the Lord, like, that's the only one that has ever been on the face of the earth of what you describing. And we don't know how he looked either. We don't know if Jesus was handsome in the sight of a woman. We don't know that. Because all we see are these fake pictures. We don't know what he looked like. And so, you see what I'm saying? I don't think the Lord would have had his son out here looking broke, busted, and disgusted now. I don't think he looked tore up from the floor up now. But just in that region and where he was born and where them men was, when you look back at the historical pictures of that group of men, it ain't like they was like the most handsome guys. So ain't no telling if y'all would have liked Jesus. Ain't no telling. And you know what? You wouldn't have been able to get Jesus because you want to vape and you want a hookah and you want to cuss and you want to pop pee. You be ready to pop pee. You be ready to be the pastor prostitute. That be your problem right there. You be ready to pop pee. Be online doing all that. We mess around and get you in that room, you popping pee. Oh, you know it. You hot and ready like Little Caesar. You out here like a deep dish from Little Caesar. Hot and ready. I don't normally do this. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All the time. Be ashamed of yourself. Yes, you do. Nasty. Close your legs. Close your legs. You close your legs, he'll zip it up. Point right there. You close your legs, he will zip it up. Point blank, period. So this is what's happening today. Is women now are starting to do more talking than doing. And y'all do not listen. I talk to y'all all the time. I give you the game all the time. I'm always talking to you. I'm always telling you. And then you get on the phone with me. Well, Tony, you know, I've been following you since 2020. But I didn't take your advice. And, you know, I have a 2-year-old from a guy that I absolutely despise. He's the worst that I've ever met. I ain't never met more women with a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old in my life. And been following me the whole time. But guess what? Hot buttercream biscuit. What they selling that at over there? What they got over there? Oh, so they done got them little food truck out there. I ain't never met women this many single moms in my life and been following me the whole time and didn't listen. Why? Got around that man. That man went to talking. That masculine energy. That natural scent, draws came off. Y'all have got to keep your panties on. You got to keep your panties on. Listen. Keep your panties on. I'm trying to tell you. Keep your panties on. It's getting bad. It's getting bad. Keep your panties on. And when you keep them panties on, now you know. Now you know you got you something. Because now you giving yourself a chance. You have got to give yourself a chance. And when you give yourself a chance, now you can possibly get you a husband, but you have to give yourself a chance. You have to. If you popping P, you going to corrupt your chances. So a lot, because y'all won't listen, I can't tell you. That's why I try to tell the women who be in the comments, hush, you're not called to do this here talk. So hush and let me do the talking. And stay out the comments trying to teach. If you want to teach, start you a YouTube channel and stop contradicting what I'm trying to teach, and stop trying to teach what you want to teach in my comment section. Listen to me. We all know as adults that we're not supposed to have sex before marriage. But you see how that is going, don't you? You see how that is going. So what I'm telling you is, if you cannot wait until marriage, at the least, you have to wait 6 months. You have to wait 6 months. It used to be 3 months. Steve Harvey messed that up because I wrote about the 90-day rule in my book in 2007. My book was talked about on the Steve Harvey Morning Show 3 or 4 times. His ghostwriter read my book, heard about the 90-day rule. She tweaked it from the 3-month rule, what I called it, to the 90-day rule. And they related it to 90 days of probation on a job. And the book went viral because he got a morning talk show. So now the 90-day rule goes viral. Every man goes into a relationship now and he removes his heart. He removes his intentionality. He removes everything of meaning and substance. And he's only waiting until day 91. And between day 91 and day 100, he trying to crack every day. He trying to crack something open every day. That's why now it's 6 months. I'm not putting that in a book. Lord willing, nobody put it in a book. Lord willing, that never goes viral. So the men don't know that it's the 6-month rule now. So they're gonna break character in month 4. If he's not your husband and he's not for you, he's going to break character in month 4, and he's gonna start to wig out. He's going to start to lose it. And that's when you win. He gonna start to lose it, and you get to see his true colors, and you get to cut him off having never lost yourself, having never lost your wits about you, having never lost it. Now you get to move on with your life. So hey, this Tony Gaskin, California. Get your tickets to San Diego. Texas, get your tickets to Dallas. And then join me on the Love Levels conversation, which will be April 19th. If you want to be a part of that, you in Texas, want to come on in, be a part of the Love Levels conversation, email in casting@tonygaskin.com. It's just a conversation. Don't be afraid. You don't have to have your 3 B's. Don't get you know, caught up on that. We still in the process. We still getting ready. So come on. Just don't be out talking me. That's just the only rule on that. Don't be out talking me now. Don't come on there with no dissertation. We answering the question and passing the mic is what we doing. So hey, join me. God bless you. All the other important links. If you can't make it out to a live event and you still want to support, please click the link in the description box for the Boys Summer Program. We got a major fundraiser. We have Atlanta coming up in 2 weeks. We have St. Louis, Missouri. We got Kansas City, Missouri. We got Dallas, Texas. And we have Nashville, Tennessee. We had Pennsylvania, but we changed that to Atlanta to save money because we behind on our fundraising. So it'll save us like $10,000 going to Atlanta instead of, and Atlanta's still gonna be a nice trip. Still got a big Airbnb. It's still like a retreat style type thing. So these young men are getting an experience like never before. We just did a 2-night retreat. We were in a 15-bedroom townhouse or house, whatever you call it, in Kissimmee, Florida. You know, they got a bunch of those theme houses. It was amazing. And I never been in a house like that. After it, we had a couple boys. They wanted to go back to the house, but they had to get back on the road because they live 3 hours away. They were like, I want to go back to the house. They want to go back to the house and stay. They loved it. And that's what I'm trying to do, is stretch their mind. Because when they realize that this comes from me, and they online, so they go and they look at my brand, they listen to my videos, they find out what I do, you know, like, what did Coach Tony do? Like, who is he? They see that I'm married. They see that I got 2 sons. And so it shows them, and it shows them like, this is what it takes. Like, you want to have this lifestyle. You want to be able to give back like this one day. This is the life that it takes. This the way you got to live your life. Married, faithful, a father, integrity, no cursing, no getting high, no getting drunk, living the way God instructs us to live. So they get to see that example, and they get to hear me talk. I'm talking to them, ministering to them. We got a tournament this weekend, and I'll be there most likely, me and my wife. It is our anniversary on March 30th. So March 30th, y'all don't write me. Don't bother me on March 30th. It's my anniversary, 19 year. 19 year. March 30th. And so I want to be able to do something special for my wife. I'm trying to think what it is. Pray the Lord I get me a check in. I get me a check. I probably take on a little shopping spree, but I may want to get her something, make her something a little special. I'm gonna tell her, don't even get me no gift. But hey, it's Tony Gasson. God bless you. Keep your head up. Keep going. We'll talk soon.